Hello everybody and welcome back. This is part 2 of the journal we were making. And for the inside what I did was I put some tape in here to make it a little stronger, and I added cardstock. And I punched the holes in here. Well, of course I'm not straight with the big bite. And now we're going to sew in our signatures. And this is Shades of Green from scrapbookingwithme.com. If you want to look for this digital, you can. I'll have it linked below. But I put all my pages together that I'm going to use, and I put some cardstock in here and some other papers. So I'm going to sew the signatures on camera. Hopefully I can do it. And I have 3 signatures in here. So I'm going to start with the first one. I'm going to line this up and mark it. And did I want... Yeah, I'll do this one first. How's everybody doing? Did you survive the weather of the cold weather? It's still cold here. So what I do is the one I marked, I'm going to turn inside. And I have some lined paper on the other side for writing space. I made this digital. It is like a light green color. And I can have this link below for you guys if you'd like. So I'll do that. And I'll make sure my pages are together. And then I'm going to poke with the awl in the center. If I can see where I marked it at. Then I'm going to bring this page back. Then we're going to get our string. I'm using some green wax thread. Finding a needle. I'm going to start in the center of this, and I'm going to clip these together so they don't fall apart. You can go for either side to the next hole. And hopefully it goes through. I'm going to make this hole bigger. And if you like these digitals that I'm using, I'll put the link below. And there's a coupon code you can use. for 20% off. Then I'm going to go to the next one. You know what? I'm doing this wrong for some reason, I think. No, I'm not. Okay, go up in this hole. Then go back into the center. And then we're going to go back. Oh, look at that. I did what you're not supposed to do. And that was get it hooked. We have to get that out of there. I don't want to get it tangled in with this one. Now it's going to be, I got to thread the needle again. Will it thread? Okay. So we're going to go back in there. Then we're going to go back into this middle hole and make sure we don't get in with the then we want to make sure that our thread is on either side of this thread, and we don't want to do that, so we want to make sure that these are both, one is on one side and one is on the other. Then we're going to pull them. Then we're going to make a knot. I do mine twice. Then I'm going to cut this. Then we're going to go on to the next one. I don't know how everybody else, this is how I do it. This is what I've learned. I'm sure everybody's got their own way of doing, binding a journal. It's been so cold, and then of course it's got to be windy on top of it. Then we're going to repeat and do the same thing. And I do have envelope in here too, and I don't mind it sticking out. Again, I'm going to start in the center. go at the top. And we're going to go to the bottom. You don't want to lose that middle string. Then we're going to go into the center again. And it almost went through that string again. So I'm going to pull it out a little. Go in between this one. Tie it tight. And this is the 3 pamphlet stitch that we're doing. And we have our last one. And hopefully I got all the pages. Okay, so I'm going to just put this in here. One time I bound a book together and I totally forgot. Somehow I missed a page. That I don't know how I did. But it happens. Okay, the last one. And maybe I'll put this on top of there. Maybe I should go from the other side so I can see. Boy, that looks way off, that hole. come in the center. And I don't want to hit that string, which I did. There we go. Make sure it's this middle part's in between. And then we are done with sewing it in. We have all our signatures sewn in. And then I did dye some lace green so we can put over here to make a pocket. And I am going to try to hide this, but I don't think it might not. So we can put that down. I need to find my glue. I'm using Fabri-Tac for this. I'm putting a fine line over here. Then I'm going to put some here. Well, I'm going to probably end up cutting some of it off because I do know it's a little long. So we'll see. I might have to glue some more. But we'll just put it right here. And here's some of the pages that we have in here. This is a piece of cardstock that's textured. It has little dots on it. I don't know if you can see it or not. And I used some of this paper. I did distress the edges on here. And I'm going to make this a pocket. And we can make this a tuck spot. And I'm going to make this a pocket, which I am going to do right now. And have one big pocket in each signature. And this paper is scrapbook paper. Then I'm going to make a slit in here too. Make sure I'm even, if I can do it. And then we'll have a pocket here. We can put a tag in here, whatever we like. Another pocket. Put one of the belly bands that we made in here. That one is a little big, but we'll make it work. Well, maybe not this one. Whoops. I'm throwing the glue. Okay, so let's go to the second signature, and we will do, we can show the paper that's in here with this digital kit, shades of green. I'm thinking of doing journals that like are color, like monochromatic, like all green, different shades of green, different purples, reds, possibly doing that. Have you guys done any journals like that at all? This one has smaller dots on it. Last signature. And my pages are not all the same. They're not even. But that's okay. And I did get all the pages this time. I'll have to glue this here. I'll glue that, fix that later. And then, we could put that big butterfly in here too. The moving one we did. Maybe I'll put it on the other green. And let me see. I do have one more over here that we can put on here. Maybe. It'll just have to stick up a little bit over here. But maybe we could make it stick up. I'll put this butterfly on there, but I'm going to take off the pop-up dot so I can glue it down. trim this down a little. Hopefully I put the glue. Yeah. And then we can continue decorating it. I do need to put a cover on here, but this is how I make my journals. But we can't see this, so we'll have to fix that too. I might trim this a little bit off. And I need to make a cover. If you have any questions, or just let me know. And I'm going to trim this off. What is going on here? And it pretty much lays somewhat flat. I mean, it does, but it's flat though. And I will do part 3 and have this all finished. And maybe I'll come for part 3, we'll work on it together and make tags and stuff for it. Thanks for watching. Bye.